Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's update on the Secretary of State campaign. This week, actually, a lot of interesting things happened, and I didn't get video of them, which was my fault. Yeah, I mean, it's not in my nature to point a video camera at myself. I'm not very comfortable doing it right now. But I had a couple really interesting speeches this week. Well, one interesting speech and one interesting protest. And I could have videotaped either of them and not had to do this update video at the end of the week, but I didn't on both times. One because it happened too fast, and one because, frankly, I was too nervous. I tried something new. So the major topics this week are hey Josh, Boyd County, Fayette County, and the campaign itself. So I really wanted to show everybody how pretty Kentucky is, because most people paying attention to my campaign are not from Kentucky, but unfortunately the wind is 7 million miles an hour outside right now. It's sort of nice. All right. Anyway, so instead of that, I decided to come here and show you all the nerve center, the nerd center, subtle pun there, where I make all my tiny plastic Kentuckies. There you go. Little tiny plastic Kentucky coming out right now. They're actually made out of PLA, which is a combination of, I believe, sugarcane and beetroot. That might be my Minecraft player talking there. Got to get back to you on that. But it's biodegradable. It's biodegradable under industrial factorial conditions, or industrial biodegrading conditions, which is if you don't throw it away in the Red River Gorge, where it's going to end up. So if you want a tiny plastic Kentucky, just let me know, and I will mail you as many as you want. And you don't really have to feel guilty about them, and Lord knows they don't cost much, because 3D printing is amazing. Here's some other 3D printing stuff that they're doing right here. They're making violins. I have no idea how they're going to sound. They're making owls. They're making boats. Okay, so to the business at hand. I went to Boyd County this week, which is in Ashland. It's about an hour and a half. It's about as far as you can get from here and still be in Kentucky. It's literally on the border. It's right where Mothman is from. They're right across the river from Point Pleasant. I experimented with something new while I was out there, which is, instead of sticking directly to my campaign promises, I went into the Democratic Party and the Kentucky Democratic Party and what we're going to have to do to win. And I don't usually write down my speeches before I give them. That's not the way I choose to work. I generally consider the topic and have a really complicated mental dialogue that lasts for months or years, and then give small extracts. Oh, Michael's here. I'm going to step outside on this. Well, anyway, Michael's a really good guy, but I don't want to confuse him with this. I'll walk through here while he gets inside. Show you the rest of the building. This is the plasma cutter, the workshop. I don't want to politicize this place. There's a lot of people that work here that do amazing things that have nothing to do with me. But, and I don't think they necessarily agree with my politics, but I like them and they like me. So anyway, I'm going to keep walking around, maybe go up to the drum set. Yeah, we have a drum set. We have a workshop. Oh, look at this thing. It's amazing. All right, let me stick to the topic. So anyway, I went out to Boyd County and I told them what I think is up with the Democratic Party, which they may or may not have wanted to hear. Judging by reading the crowd as I was doing it, I'd say about a third of them wanted to hear it. And the rest of them were really... there was a spectrum. But I'm not really quite ready to write down what I was saying there. People that talk to me on Facebook Live and stuff always are amazed by the enormous places that I'm always wandering through. But anyway, what I was talking about was how the Democratic Party is a 200-year-old party with a undeniable history of being on both sides of every conceivable issue. So the only path forward for the Democratic Party in the future, where the past is ever present, And the photos are right before us, and we're more worried about Nazis right now than people who actually fought Nazis. So the only way forward for the Democratic Party that I can see is forgiveness and redemption, and not judging people for a lifetime for things that they did when they were younger, and allowing people to make mistakes, because there's really no mistake so great that the Democratic Party didn't make it at some point over the last 200 years. If you want moral simplicity and the illusion of moral purity, you can never get along with the Democrats. You'll never be happy in the Democratic Party. This stuff about our past, which I'm not going to go into right here, but I did go into in Boyd County in front of all the ladies of the Democratic Women's Club, is going to be worse and worse and worse. It's not going away. Those black and white pictures, they're never fading. The Nazis and the Ku Klux Klan and the Confederate States of America, they are with us from now on. Those are our new bad guys. And we are unfortunately associated with two of them. And the only way out of that I can see is to be honest and to say that, yes, mistakes were made and we've changed. And if you've made mistakes, you can change too. I mean, that's the whole secret of the secret story of the Southern strategy, right? That things can change. Well, if things can change again. And if things can change for the worse, they can change for the better. Anyway, so the ladies of the Boyd County Democratic Women's Club wanted a little bit more specifics than that. So they were of medium reception on that. But it was a really good time. I had a wonderful time talking to them, and then they invited me out again, and then they invited Geoff Young out, so I guess we didn't do that bad. I also got to meet Greg Stumbo, who, by the way, is amazing, absolutely amazing. One of the most put-together politicians I've ever met in my life. This was the third time I've met him. He's running for Attorney General as a Democrat. He's running unopposed. I'm glad he's running unopposed. I hope he wins. I think he's astonishing. I learned a lot just from being around him. That's one of the nice things about this political thing, is that you meet a lot of people and they're all on their best behavior. And they're all trying to be the best people that they can possibly be. This is very different from the entertainment industry, where people just want to be richer and more successful than you. Politics makes a big deal out of trying to be nice to everybody, no matter who they are. Hey, I'm mucking around on Facebook Live. I'll go outside. Anyway, Michael, the guy who runs this place. Anyway, okay, so let's focus up. So I got as far as I'm going to tell you with Boyd County. I truly wish that I'd recorded it. I'm really glad I met Stumbo. Two of my other three opponents were there, and I got to see them talk. I really liked them.